And welcome into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Tab Bank. Alex Napolis, Brian Brown standing alongside me. Brian, Week 10, the final week of the regular season of high school football. It's upon us, it's here, and we're ready for some football.
Yeah, on a Wednesday night, no less. Bring it on, Maction. We've got high school action here at Viewmont. It is a beautiful evening. We're on the rooftop in the elements, exactly how the last week of regular season football should be.
Absolutely. Rain gear ready? We hope we don't have to use it, but we will use it if needed as the Viewmont Vikings getting ready to take on the Woods Cross Wildcats. For the Woods Cross Wildcats, it's simple. Win, and you guarantee yourself at least the minimum a share of that region title. But you have to wait for Olympus to play their game tomorrow, and you have to wait for Brighton to play their game tomorrow, on Friday, to find out if you will be able to share the region or if it's going to be yours outright.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where if you've got an opportunity to take advantage of it, you have to go out and grab it. Those are the kinds of things that coaches love to preach to players pregame. But you add into that mix, Alex, this is a rivalry game. We already heard a chant of "We hate Viewmont" from the opposing side. These are two teams that are not that far from each other in distance, in an area where it is competitive, and this is going to be an epic matchup regardless. You've got one of the best coaches continually in the state, Brody Benson, against Drew Jones, who, for my money, is one of the best program builders you can find. Should be an outstanding game. Let's just hope that the weather holds.
For the Viewmont Vikings, they started off their season, but since region play have started, they have yet to find a win in region. Tonight, it's a big one. You mentioned it, rivalry night here at Viewmont. They need this win to help themselves in the RPI. How important would a win tonight be to get your first region win of the year?
Well, I think it's important for RPI. I think it's important for team morale, and I think more importantly, it's importantly for getting one in on against your rival.
Opening kickoff here by the Wildcats. Returned well by Marcus Steppen, and now we'll have the Woods Cross Wildcats taking the field first. They'll be going to the left of your screen in the all-white, and it's the Vikings in the red and white going to the right.
And for those who haven't watched them all year, the Wildcats bringing back a fan favorite, at least on the internet anyways, in the triple option, something that Coach Brody Benson brought with him when he came from Highland. And you're going to see a stellar group of players for the Wildcats, led by quarterback and running back. Well, I know it's Vili Tapatoatai.
With the first carry. Gets 2 yards on the gain, and then he'll bring up second down.
And Jesse Simmons, I apologize as well, who I think is one of the more underrated athletes in this state, Alex. He's a great runner. He also throws the ball extremely well. Very strong athlete, and you're going to see a heavy dose of both of them tonight.
It'll be Jesse Simmons under center. Another handoff. This time almost gets the first down. Will be stopped. No, they'll give him the yardage. It'll be first down here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and Tapatoatai is a tall, strong running back. I compared him a little bit to Jerome Bettis in his running style. Not super upright. He's not going to explode past anyone, but he is a powerful, powerful runner. He will run you over. He can get to the edge. And he can get outside and get big chunk yardage.
Simmons again under center. This time he keeps out to the left and brought down on the quarterback keeper from number 9, Jesse Simmons.
You see downfield, shout out to number 52 for Woods Cross, almost 20 yards downfield blocking. That's part of that rivalry flavor that we talked about at the start of the broadcast.
Two teams that love to run the ball. We're seeing it here in the early stages. 10:40 left to go. Simmons again under center. This time's a pitch out to Miller, and Miller's going nowhere. Brought down for the loss, and he'll be brought down at the original line of scrimmage, and it's third down, Wildcats.
And nice job by the corner there. I believe that was number 20. Maybe it's a safety in the alignment, but it was Ezra Cardenas making the tackle. Good job by him. Excuse me. Maybe it was number 28. I'll have to check on that one for you, folks. Apologize. Yeah, Mike Fry on that one does a good job.
Wildcats on third down. Simmons under center. Handoff to Tabatoatai. Bounces out to his left. Up the sideline. Escapes. And Viliami Tapatoatai pushed out of bounds.
And that's part of this explosive running attack for Woods Cross. He gets 20 yards on what is essentially a fullback dive, but you can see when he gets outside, he is elusive. He's deceptively fast, and he is really hard to bring down. If you're allowing that kind of explosion in the running game, it could be a rough time on this drive. This Viewmont defense has to step up here.
Coming into this game, Tapatoatai 1,177 yards, 14 touchdowns on the ground. Here's Simmons on the quarterback keeper. The ball is out. Viewmont says they have it, and they do. Vikings recover the fumble, and it's Viewmont ball.
You can see the referees here talk about this one to figure it out. You can see the strong running there by Jesse Simmons, but what a savvy move by the Viking defense to strip the football and get the turnover exactly when they needed to make a big play.
Well, the Woods Cross Wildcats were running the ball down efficiently and effectively. Simmons there with the fumble. And that's where Viewmont will get possession here on the 35-yard line. The Vikings now for the first time tonight with 9:37 left to go here in the first quarter. Massive turnover early in this one. Jack Savage in at quarterback. Double reverse, and they run into each other. And that's where it'll end. Nicely read by the Wildcats.
Yeah, and do not sleep on this Woods Cross defense. There are a few crossovers. You're going to see Tapatautai playing on the edge out there at times. There are some really, really explosive defensive players for Woods Cross. Did a great job of getting into the backfield on that one.
Jack Savage and the Viewmont Vikings here on second down. Two line up in the backfield. Savage takes the snap. Gets it out quick. It's caught up the sideline as Jason Dunrow with his first catch of the night pushed out of bounds, and it returns it to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up third and long for the home side as the rain begins to pour here at Viewmont.
And for Viewmont, this in essence acts as a free possession after the turnover. You would love to be able to capitalize on this, but again, close to your own end zone. I'm sure that's part of what Coach Drew Jones and his staff are saying to his team right now from the sideline. Do not do anything out of control.
Savage takes the snap. Jack Savage looking downfield, over the top, going deep, and it falls incomplete. And the flags come out. The ball hits the turf, it's incomplete. And we'll see what this flag is here, but it looks like it's going down for the Vikings.
More than likely this one's going to be pass interference, and you see just two players getting tied up and tangled up with one another. Back judge makes a lengthy throw on the flag there, but so much contact, I'm not sure he had any other options.
So on third and long, the Wildcats defense has a chance to get off the field, give the ball back to their offense with an incompletion. And instead, here we go with Vikings first down with the ball at the 50. Extending this drive with the penalty. Savage will take the snap, drops back, floats it up over the top, and it falls incomplete, intended for Joshua Lewis.
Yeah, nice coverage there by Tion Halbach, and he's a guy that goes both ways for this Woods Cross football team. Is very explosive in the pass game, and maybe that sounds surprising. He gets a lot of yards per catch. He just doesn't get a lot of catches. But this Woods Cross defense is stingy. They're tough. They're not going to give anything easy to the Vikings.
Second down coming up here for the home side. With 8:54 left to go here in the first quarter, Savage will take the snap. Handoff up the middle, and he's going nowhere. Immediately met by a swarm of Wildcats.
Again, that's stingy defense. You see number 57 there, Napa'a Taukia Pimahu in the interior. Shout out to number 52, Brody Rogers as well, who goes both ways. And then another player to watch, Braden Haas, number 50. He's hard to miss because he's got a cowboy collar, but he is the epitome of a throwback linebacker right there in the middle.
This will bring up 3rd and long here for the Vikings. They need 11 for the first down. Savage drops back, pressure coming off the screen, and he'll be met nowhere to go. Returns to the line of scrimmage, and that's all he'll get as the Wildcats hold for 4th.
Yeah, and Napa'a said nuh-uh on that one, makes the tackle there. I apologize to the viewers at home. Some of these I just can't resist. You can see number 57 is an active player. Already made 2 plays on that one possession. I think we're going to call his name a lot tonight, so I'll get some good practice.
Halshback back to return for the Wildcats. This punt up and away. Takes a bounce at the 35, and it'll fall dead at the 27-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will regain possession. Again, going back to the Woods Cross Wildcats. Moving the ball well down the last drive, but ultimately resulted in a fumble. Let's see if the Wildcats can continue to move the ball down the way that they did last drive. And
usually you expect a fumble or 2 with this option attack, but you expect it in a handoff or a pitch, not in a dog pile like that. And so something that I'm sure Simmons talked with the coaching staff on the sideline about ball security, protecting the football when you get there. It's just not worth the extra yards at this point.
Simmons goes under center, a handoff to Tapatoatai. Nice move out to the left side and finally brought down. Inbound, the clock stays running, but there he is again, Tapatoatai making a big play.
I believe he's almost 6'3" out there, so very tall for a running back, but you can see the footwork is really nifty, and that's something that running backs at Highland previously under Brody Benson had. Now here at Woods Cross we're seeing it. He's a versatile player that I think will get a look at the next level.
Another handoff, and met at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. As good read there by the Viewmont defense.
Yeah, good job there, stuffing up the middle, and this is not a monster defensive front for Viewmont. They were tenacious on that one. That's a lot of what is so important. Defending the option is reading your keys, staying home, and just making the play that comes to you, not trying to be a highlight player.
Second down coming up here for the Wildcats as Simmons goes under center. A handoff to Tapatoatai. Again, nicely read by the Viewmont defense as he only gets a yard. Usually Tapatoatai can break free, but this time stuffed at the line.
And you can see the get off and the aggression from that Viking defensive front. You talked about it. They've been up against the gauntlet here in this region. Brighton has an outstanding offensive line. Bountiful has a good offensive line. There are so many good teams, and so they've really started to develop and come into their own here.
Third down coming up here for the Wildcats. They need 8 for the first down. Simmons, handoff. Simmons, keeper. Simmons, up the sideline. Simmons gets the first down, cuts inside, and finally wrestled down Jesse Simmons with a big first down run.
That's the explosive running ability that we see with Jesse Simmons right there. Picks up over 20 yards on that carry. You see him expertly set up the defender. He can't commit because he's so worried about the pitch. Simmons cuts upfield. Would have had a touchdown, but got a little indecisive as his blocker almost got in his way, and I think that was about the only thing that could stop Jesse Simmons on that run.
Big play from the quarterback to get the first down. Here comes 1st and 10 with the ball on the 24-yard line for the for the Woods Cross Wildcats. And off up the middle, going nowhere, maybe a yard on first down.
And that's part of the triple option attack, right? You have to continue to give on the dive, even if it's not working. And so we're not going to see that change a whole lot with Woods Cross. Viewmont is focusing on stopping that as priority number one. You could see why early on Tapatauatai was able to get outside and break some big runs. They made some corrections here, and I think they're doing a much better job. Now it's about the rest of the responsibilities.
4:50 left to go in the first quarter. Second down coming up here for the Wildcats. Woods Cross pitches it out. Good run here up the sideline. Past the 10, gets the first down, and finally wrestled down Hayden Thorne with a big run.
A nice job there by, I believe that was Shaden Garrett on that one, number 12. A little hard to see, but Garrett is an explosive runner for this Woods Cross Wildcat team. We talk about Tapatauatai, Simmons, and Tayon Halbach. Garrett has 21 carries for 292 yards. He's averaging almost 14 yards a carry. You can see why.
First down coming up here for the Wildcats. First and goal as Simmons takes a snap. Hand off to Tapatauatai. Tries to break it out to his right and is brought down after 2 on the gain.
Again, this Viewmont defense extremely scrappy right now. I think they've adjusted. Again, you watch him on tape, you don't realize how nifty a runner he is, how quick he is. And this defense starting to adjust, going low, getting him down, stopping him at the legs where he gets all that power and drive.
3:45 left to go here on second down. They need 3 for the end zone. Out to Tapatauatai. He'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Well, that one it looked like it was a missed assignment from the get-go. You see Tapatauatai strolls into the end zone looking like it's almost too easy. Still trying to find a defender to hit. Just like that, Woods Cross gets a score on the board.
PAT coming up here for the Wildcats. As Mason Allred will put this one up and through the uprights to make it 7-0 Wildcats with 3:36 left to go here at Viewmont High. We'll take a quick step aside here on the Rewind Sports Network. Correction, we'll keep it here. The mouse pad is too wet for me to take it to commercial. Here we go with 3:36 left to go as the Viewmont Vikings return to the field.
The viewing experience at home is a little different than the broadcast experience here. We're up top of the press box tonight, out in the elements, and I do love being up here. It's beautiful, but also it's raining.
It is.
And electronics equipment and rain sometimes don't always go together, so if we're not able to smoothly go from commercial break to broadcast, that's part of the reason why.
We'll get to a commercial break here momentarily. First, though, let's watch the Wildcats come out to boot this one away as the Viewmont Vikings will look to return onto the field and try to answer the touchdown score from the Woods Cross Wildcats. That ball booted away into the end zone, back for a touchback. And so with 3:36 left, we'll see this Viking offense return.
Yeah, and this Viking offense, it really does start and end with Jack Savage. He's a great player. He's under the tutelage of Coach Drew Jones. He's really grown and developed. Saw him take a couple shots downfield, but again, this offensive line has their hands full. It's a younger unit. They don't have a ton of size up front. So they're going to have to really fight and scrap to give Savage some time to make those throws.
Here comes Jack Savage in this offense on first down. Savage will take the snap, drops back, looking to throw, goes deep, and it is caught on the sideline, makes one miss and brought down. Big play on first down by Brady Clegg.
And I'll send the Venmo to Jack for making me look like I'm smarter than I really am. He throws a beautiful ball there, just leaves it to where his receiver can come back and get it. It's almost not quite a back shoulder throw, but a comeback throw. And with the weather and everything like that, I just can't emphasize what a great throw that is for people watching at home. I know everybody loves to be an amateur or armchair analyst. On that one, we can give him some love for sure.
Clegg, 27 receptions on the season coming into this one. Add another one to his tally. That one batted down at the line of scrimmage, falls incomplete, and it'll bring up second down.
Multiple screen passes that we've seen so far. You can tell that Viewmont is concerned about this pass rush from Woods Cross, and understandably so. It is an aggressive group. We talked about it before. Able to get back there, get hands on the ball, and bat it down, not even allowing an opportunity to complete the screen pass.
Second down coming up here for the Viewmont Vikings. Savage, line up in the shotgun. 3 receivers line up to the far side. Savage takes a snap, gets it out quick. It's caught, makes the first down move, and is brought down. That ball caught by looks like that was Cardenas on the catch.
Yeah, and Cardenas making plays on both sides of the ball so far this game. I'm not sure if that's Cardenas or if that's Fry. I think that might be Fry, yeah. So
like
apologize to the viewers at home. But regardless, I think the story is Jack Savage has something going here.
First down coming up with 2:35 left to go. Savage will take the snap, drops back, another pass. Has to escape, no, is brought down with a big sack by the Wildcats.
And who else on that one? Number 10 for the Wildcats, Hayden Thorne. Outside linebacker, 6 foot, 200 pounds. The senior has had an outstanding season. He is their leading tackler. I believe that might be his second or third sack on the season. We'll see how accurately Deseret News has updated their statistics recently. Another one of the fun aspects of high school football. You never really know if the stats are accurate or not.
Big play there made by Hayden Thorne for the sack, and now on second and really long, the Vikings get the ball out. It's caught and kept in bounds. Cooper Willoughby with the catch, but the flag's coming out late, Brian.
And you can see a little bit of jawing there on the sideline as well. I feel like that flag was a warning as much as anything. This officiating crew is not going to put up with any kind of shenanigans tonight. And then it looked like the player was well out of bounds and then thrown down. That's one of those situations where it's just unnecessary. And I understand that every team wants to play aggressively. You have to do it in a smart manner. That's going to give Viewmont, I believe, a first down.
First down here for Viewmont after the personal foul called.
And for the Vikings, they're going to take it no matter what. But if you're that Woods Cross coaching staff, you had them. You had them, and you're going to stress that on the sideline. You just cannot give them first downs.
Big play made by Cooper Willoughby as he makes the catch of the move. But with the penalty here, gives the Vikings the first down. Savage takes the snap. Savage again, looking to go deep, and it is incomplete. Hits the turf. Ball intended for Joshua Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis is a pretty lanky receiver. You see him trying to go high for that one, just not able to bring it in. You like the call from Coach Jones and his staff, though, trying to be aggressive, especially after a penalty. Maybe catch that Woods Cross defense hanging their heads a little bit. Instead, now they're going to have to deal with 2nd and 10, and I have to believe that they're going to go with some quick game here.
1:28 left to go in the first quarter. Empty backfield here for Savage. 3 receivers line up to the far side, 2 to the near, gets it out to the far, it's caught, and it comes out, but it falls incomplete. They'll say he didn't possess the ball as it hits the turf.
Yeah, we see Savage come off here. Well, he come into the sideline to get the call more effectively, but it looked like that ball came out of his hand a little awkwardly. Not sure if it was a grip situation or what, but just an easy throw to make, something we've seen him make all game. It just goes wildly off target. The receiver has to double back to try and get it, and just not able to reel it in, complete the catch. And as we watch on Sundays, completing the catch is not always an easy thing. Story of my dating life, too.
Third down coming up here. Savage takes the snap, has to escape out to his left. Savage being pressured. Savage will be brought down behind the line. It's a tackle for a loss as Jack Savage brought down in the backfield.
And you can see the pursuit from that Woods Cross defense is just relentless. And Jack Savage, a tough kid, tough player. He's not going to give up easily, but dragged down, not able to make a completion on that one, and puts Viewmont in 4th down territory, 4th and long here, well outside of, I think, field goal range, given the weather conditions right now. The wind is whipping pretty heavily.
4th down coming up now for the Vikings. The offense staying out on the field. Savage takes the snap. Savage going deep towards the end zone, and it's intercepted. Picked off out of the air. No, it falls incomplete. The Wildcats had it. So the close judge said it hit the turf, incomplete. The far one said it was a catch. Now they're giving the signal. It is an interception here for the Wildcats.
Great job there by Marcus Steppen as he's able to reel in the ball. He had it tracked the entire time. Double coverage there. That's one of those plays where Viewmont's just assuming it's an arm punt if you don't complete it, but you want to take the chance, try and get some points. Ends up that Woods Cross gets the interception, but great play for Marcus Steppen. Now the offense has to dig itself out of a pretty deep hole, Alex. Not that we haven't seen it before, but this would be a 99-yard drive if they're able to get a touchdown.
Ball on the 1-yard line here for the Wildcats. Simmons, handoff. Tapatoa brought down. Maybe a yard on the gain.
And this is one area where if you're an option football team, the playbook gets extremely limited. You're just trying to get the ball out, and so you're basically left with called dives, maybe a trap, and some QB sneak. And I would even risk that trap is a dangerous play because too much movement can allow penetration, and that's the kind of thing that would lead to a catastrophe.
They'll think it over as we head to the end of the first quarter. It's a 7-0 Woods Cross Wildcats lead here at Viewmont as we'll get ready to start second quarter action when we return here on the Rewind Sports Network. And I want to welcome you back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Alex Napolis, Brian Brown standing alongside me. And the second down play results in a Viking down behind the play. So with 11:42 here, we'll have a stoppage as the training staff here for the home side runs onto the field to take a look at their player.
Coming out of a timeout, just something you hate to see. You hope that everything's okay.
While the staff's on the field taking a look at the player down, we'll take a quick step aside here on the Rewind Sports Network. And I want to welcome you back in. Cooper Willoughby, good to see him up on his feet, walking over towards the sideline. Here's a big run for the Woods Cross Wildcats, trying to get a first down. He'll be stopped short, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Willoughby, the senior, been a stout player for the Vikings. Hope they're able to find a way to continue as they're able to get a stop there on 3rd down and force the 4th down. And we look back at that so-called arm punt. Turned out pretty well for the Vikings. Great job on the stand there. Now they're going to get the ball back with pretty solid field position, especially with this wind starting to pick up, blowing in that direction.
Ball booted away by the Wildcats. It goes out of bounds, and it'll set up the Vikings inside Wildcat territory.
Yeah, well inside Wildcat territory, as it looks like that one goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And folks listening at home, it's better to be lucky than good, I promise you that. But excuse me, see, 23. You couldn't even get the yardage right on that one. But the elements are going to play a factor, and tonight I definitely believe that was a factor in that punt. Whether it's wet, slippery footballs, the wind, whatever it is, we're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff tonight.
Here comes Jack Savage again at quarterback for the Vikings. We'll see how he responds after the interception last drive. Savage drops back, gets it out quick. It's caught. Trying to break out to the left, does find some space up the sideline past the 20, and then finally brought down. Big play by the Vikings.
Looked like it was Parker Rose on the trickeration coming around the corner. The senior speedster picks up a lot of yards on that one. He traveled a lot more, probably traveled 59, but he gets 9 on the gain, puts up 2nd and short, ran into a cavalcade of Wildcat defenders, and had they not been there, he probably would have still been running.
Here comes 2nd down now for the Vikings as Savage gets ready to take the snap. 10 minutes left to go. Savage gets it out quick. It hits the turf, falls incomplete. Intended for number 17, Jesse Johnson.
And they had the screen open there. Savage is not able to get the ball up enough. So he was facing an aggressive Wildcat front. Really what Woods Cross has decided to do is just let their front defenders, their line defenders, free rush, and they're going to keep everything in front of them. So they're willing to allow some gains in that screen game, but they want to put pressure on Jack Savage tonight.
That was Tolman with the incompletion. Now Savage gets it out quick, and it falls incomplete. Defended well by the Wildcats. Intended for Draylon Jensen, but it falls incomplete.
Jensen, the junior, looking for assistance from the officials there. Thought that he was interfered with, and that's a tough call because you're shielding the defender from the football. The defender's trying to come through you to defend it. I think that's likely where the call was let go. So we'll see what the Vikings are able to do now. 4th and short. This would be a monster stand for the Wildcats.
Step in there with the defensive play for the Wildcats. Had the INT earlier. Now here on 4th down. See what the Vikings can do. Handoff to Tolman. Tolman falls down behind the line. And just like that, it's a turnover on downs, and it's going Woods Cross Wildcats' way.
All the momentum was going in the favor of the Vikings, and then Ryan Miller stood up, looked in the mirror, and said, "Not today!" Sneaks into the backfield, able to get the toe tap, and that was enough to bring down the ball carrier as his mates finished the job. And the Woods Cross Wildcats will take over on downs in what's become a real back and forth defensive affair. I thought earlier there, Alex, it was going to be a scoring bonanza, but we're seeing some strong defensive play now.
Simmons back on the field. This is a Hansa Tapatoatai. And a good move from Tapatoatai, gets it past the 30, finally brought down.
Well, I don't know if Viliami's hot to go, but he is sure ready to carry the ball. As we hear a serenade from the Viewmont Viking band. One of the best parts about a high school football game is the participation from the student body, from cheerleaders to bands. The student body, the student section showed up en masse for a Wednesday night. Great show.
Good turnout in the rain here for the Viewmont Vikings. A handoff up to Tapatoatai once more. Gets 2 on the gain here on 1st down.
And a solid showing across the field there for the Woods Cross Wildcats as well. Not a far trip at all, but you just appreciate people being willing to brave the elements. It's not warm up here. I'm going to go ahead and say it. But I tell you what, this Wildcat offense is starting to warm up, Alex, and that's the beauty of option football. You just keep grinding on your opponent until something slips and you're able to get a big play.
Simmons takes the handoff, and we do have flags coming out. This one will go against the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a false start there. Looked like it came on the right side of the line, and apologize for talking into the mic on that one. Sometimes the old offensive lineman in me just can't stay quiet. You see one of your brethren moving on that one. It's a 5-yard penalty, and for most teams, 5 yards not a massive loss. And for this Woods Cross team, what it does is it puts you behind the sticks, now behind schedule. And so if you're not able to pick up a big chunk of yards here, you almost have to throw on 3rd down or consider going for it on 4th down. You're already deep in the Viewmont territory.
Behind the sticks on 2nd down. Here's Simmons, who goes under center, takes the snap. Keeper pitches it out, and up the sideline. Break gets the 1st down, past the 50, and finally brought down as Tajan Hausbach with a big 1st down run.
Yeah, it's Dion like Dion, and you can see why it's pronounced that way. He moves like the head coach at Colorado used to wiggling and wagging and sprinting his way for a first down. It does look like this one is going to come back, Alex. Oh. I'm sorry. Tion, we tried. We gave you the highlight call.
That run from Tion will come back. The penalty will bring it back now for the Wildcats. And it'll put them in a deep, deep hole.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, offensive linemen just want to show love. And nobody believes me that they're just trying to give hugs to the defensive players out there. I don't understand it. But they call it holding. Somehow it's a penalty.
It's the love and positivity.
Right.
It's the love and positivity.
It all starts up front.
They want to share it too. Here we go on second down. Simmons drops back to throw, going deep, and it is incomplete. Intended for Tayon, but it hits the turf.
And you can see Jesse Simmons. This is why I mentioned at the start of the broadcast. I think he's an incredibly underrated athlete. That's a beautiful throw. That's the kind of throw that we don't see from a lot of quarterbacks. He's got an extremely strong arm. He's got a really explosive receiver in the route. Halbach's just not able to reel that one in. And so now third and very long, but this Woods Cross team can pick up first downs in the pass game. It's just not a consistent part of the offense.
Tion wanted a flag there. Instead, it brings up third and long. Simmons rolls out to the right. Simmons again looking to throw. Tucks it in. Now escapes. Out to the left. Simmons with a first down run. Wow, wow, wow. Jesse Simmons.
The signal from the officials is that is a first down, and who else but Jesse Simmons putting the team on his back, picking up a monster first down. He can do it with his arm, chose to do it with his legs on that one. That was a huge, huge play for this drive.
It was a third and very long for the Wildcats. And Simmons able to, like you mentioned, put the team on his back, picks up a big first down, and prior to we'll have a stoppage as the scoreboard here at Viewmont turned off.
And even the scoreboard having a little hard time functioning out here in the weather tonight, and unsurprisingly, so we'll get that all set back up. This is one of those fields where they have added a play clock, but it's a little bit difficult to find in either end zone. So something that we'll have to watch now going forward is there's 10 seconds right now for Woods Cross.
It's a handoff. Flags do come out. A big run here on first down for the Wildcats. We'll see what that flag is.
I don't know if it's just that I'm starting to notice it more, but some of these flag tosses by the officials, super impressive. The height on that one, I mean, we can see that all the way above the house line there. Maybe they're just listening to me on the broadcast. We got to love up the officials for the job that they do. Appreciate them, but if you're on the Woods Cross side of things, you absolutely hate that because you don't want to see any more penalties against your team. Although on this particular drive, they've been able to overcome it.
6:55 left to go here in the second quarter. Woods Cross is up 7-0. We'll have more flags come out. This one is going to go against the Wildcats.
And no, this one's going to go against Viewmont. And so that's the old encroachment rule. So a good opportunity for us to talk about the differences between high school rules and college and pro. There is no such thing as neutral zone infractions. If you cross the neutral zone, you are offsides, even if you get back before the snap.
Big run by Tapatoatai, and finally brought down Viliami Tapatoatai. Does it again.
What a savvy call by Coach Brody Benson. He's also the offensive coordinator. He gets tempo from his team after the penalty. They're up, ready to go. And then Vili does what Vili does best, run the dang ball and pick up first downs. Get that man an extra plate of dinner tonight.
After the big run, first down coming up here for the Wildcats. Simmons will go under center. Another handoff. This time to Garrett. Garrett out to the left, makes a good move, and is brought down after a 6-yard gain from number 12. Second down coming up here for the Woods Cross Wildcats. Simmons again will go under center. Keeper for Simmons, out to the right, and gets, we'll see where the spot is, but that should be enough for that first down. And they'll give it to him. First down run by Simmons. The Wildcats, all of a sudden now, moving the ball down the field, back behind the big run from Viliami Tapatoatai.
And this option offense just wears you down. And you see just, Tapatoatai does not look like a standard fullback. He's really a tailback back there at his size.
Tapatoatai, keeper for Simmons. Simmons up the right sideline, brought down past the 20. And Simmons with another first down run.
Got a whistle. I'm not sure if there's anything going on. We got an offensive lineman trying to come off the field. I see Coach Benson helping his guy off. They're going to wind the clock here now. Haven't seen, there comes the substitute.
17 on the play clock. They need to be quick. 11, 10. Wildcats trying to beat the play clock with 5, with 4, with 3, with 2. Simmons goes under center. And they got the snap off in time. Prior to, though, might have had a timeout.
I believe this is going to be, is it a Woods Cross timeout here? Okay, so we resetting the play clock on that one. And so easy explanation for this one. Called it an injured player. Injured player has time to get off the field. Play clock was never reset, so they push it back to 25. Boom.
And that's why Brian's here, to educate me. Simmons, hand off to Tapatoatai, and he'll be met at the line of scrimmage. Gets 1, maybe on the gain.
Sometimes it's as much about reminding myself and educating the people at home. We all watch so much football, but I think we can call this the Dane Stewart law of knowing the rules. There's no one better at knowing the rules that is not an actual official than Dane Stewart. Does a great job of coaching us up as broadcasters. Meantime, we've got a pretty pressing second and long here.
Simmons out to Miller. Miller finds some space. Miller's still on his feet. And Miller finally pushed down. The play is dead, but Ryan Miller off the toss makes a big run.
Sometimes the easiest thing to do is just keep going. And that's exactly what Ryan Miller did. Just kept his feet going. See, the defender sheds the block. He's in great position to make the tackle. Miller just drives his legs through it, picks up additional yards, puts the Wildcats into a much more manageable third and, we'll call it third and average, maybe? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide.
This is third and Brown Bear. Handoff. And a keeper, it's, the ball is out. All kinds of confusion. The Vikings say they have it, and it is. It's Viking ball. With 3:16 left to go, the Vikings recover.
This is option football. Sometimes the ball just gets away from you the same way we saw that missed throw from Jack Savage. That pitch, it looked like it just, I can't even tell if it hit the running back in a weird spot in the hands, but it just took an awkward bounce, springs backwards, Viewmont able to recover, and what a monster stop and turnover that was.
Woods Cross doing a phenomenal job moving the ball down the field. This time, though, turnover. A deep throw here from Savage through the hands and incomplete. Intended for Jason Dunrow.
That's going to be a big part of this Viewmont offense, is finding opportunities to take shots and trying to test this Viewmont secondary. You saw Tan Hallback in coverage there, number 3, and just not able to connect on that one. But the hope is that, kind of like with option, that you're just going to keep taking those shots, and one of them is going to connect and be able to get an explosive play and hopefully a score.
9 on the play clock. 7, 6. Savage gets the snap off. Handoff to his running back. And up the middle as Benji Tolman making a run.
I haven't called Tolman's name a ton tonight. I believe that was only his second carry. Might have even been his first, but good job on that one. Picks up about 5 yards. Gets them back on schedule, and now you can run a lot of your quick game. So outs, drags, easy throws for Jack Savage to make. And with only 2:40 on the clock, you can even discuss going for it here on 4th down.
One possession game here at Viewmont High School. Empty backfield for Savage. Takes the snap, drops back, gets it out quick. It's caught and brought down. That's enough for the first down, as big catch there made by Draylon Jensen.
And nice job by Jensen there. And he's a taller target at 6'1", able to climb the ladder a bit. Snatch that one out of the air, and you see him just settle down in the zone, do a good job finding the open space. Call that a stick route, where you're going to run a yard past the sticks. It's just one of those little nuanced part of coaching that really shows up in Drew Jones's program.
Ball on the 33-yard line, empty backfield. Savage drops back. Savage gets it out quick across the field. Batted away by Steppen, intended again for Jensen.
Marcus Steppen's listed at 6', 165, but he sure plays a lot bigger than that. You see, he's got those long arms, does a good job positioning his body, able to knock that one away from the receiver. And not often you see safety and coverage like that, especially from the free safety position. I think that's part of why Woods Cross is so confident, allowing their defensive line to be so aggressive.
Second down coming up here for the home side. Savage will take the snap, drops back, pressure coming. Savage steps up in the pocket, and he'll be brought down for the sack. Sack for the Wildcats, and it's Napatuakia Pimahu with the sack.
He's been outstanding tonight. He gets the sack there. I believe it's at least the 3rd or 4th time we've called his name. They're going to call a timeout here for Woods Cross because they want to preserve clock and try and get this ball back. Not sure what's going on here. It looks like we've got officials. No, I'm just repositioning. Okay, so having some scoreboard issues, and they're going to try and get that clock reset. So they're going to get on the headset here, holler down to the clock operator. This is actually where it's kind of fun to be up top because we're watching this happen live. There's no booth. It's just all of us up here. I'm sure the coaches get super annoyed by us being up here, but very nice to acquiesce to us bringing the coverage of a great football game to a wide audience at home.
To your point, we appreciate the hospitality given us tonight by the Viewmont Vikings.
Always.
Letting us come out and be here for this game. Big game in Region 6. Again, the Woods Cross Wildcats, they have to win. If they win, they guarantee themselves a minimum share of the title, but they have to wait for tomorrow's Bountiful game and Friday's Brighton game to find out if they'll win it or outright or if they will share it.
That Brighton Alta game should be a real competitive affair as well, and a lot of players that grow up nearby to one another, and two programs that really are trying to get to the top of the mountain here in 5A. And when you talk about the Bountiful Braves, man, they have come alive, no surprise. Siaki Fekitoa is hands down one of the best, if not the best, running back in the state. I will phrase it this way: he is must watch whenever he plays.
Absolutely. Fekitoa and those Red Hawks, the Wildcats, and the Bengals, the Brighton Bengals, they are all sitting right now at 3-1 in region play. See if anyone can find that separation or if we'll have a three-way tie come Friday night. Here on 4th down, the Vikings will punt this one away. Back to return is Tayon. And that ball booted up and away. Takes a bounce near the 40. Continues to roll back. A friendly bounce for the Vikings. And that one will fall at about the 36-yard line. They'll mark it at the 37.
I'm sure people at home get sick of me saying this, but if you ever want to round out a foursome, look for a high school punter or kicker because they can always hit a lob shot. That was a beautiful one there. Gets a few bounces and then dies there at the 37-yard line. And now for Woods Cross, 1:36 on the clock. Still enough time. You can run your regular offense. You just have to be efficient with it.
Simmons here on 1st down. Takes the snap. Looking to throw. Rolls out to his left. Still looking downfield. Gets it away, and it is caught! Tayon with a big catch, pushed out of bounds.
When you need a big play in the throw game, you call on number 3. He averages 17 yards a reception, has over 2 touchdowns on the season. Great job by Jesse Simmons, waiting it out, timing it perfectly, finding his receiver, and accurately completing the pass.
Big play on 1st down, big pass downfield. It brings up 1st and 10 with the ball on the 26, now inside Viewmont territory. Simmons again looking to throw, escapes again to his left, looking downfield, and it falls incomplete, intended for Ryan Miller.
A little surprised that there are back-to-back passes there from Woods Cross. You've got plenty of time on the clock. There's 1:16 left here. You can still run most of your normal offense. Now 2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line. As the wind picks up a little bit, we'll see how that factors into the play calling.
2nd down here for the Wildcats.
We'll see this. Jesse Simmons has got enough arm.
Garrett with a run out to the left. Garrett gets an extra push and is brought down past the 1st down marker. It's a 1st down run for Garrett.
And this is one of those things where you got to get up and get set. It's a 1st down. The clock will wind as soon as that ball is placed.
Quickly, Woods Cross again, up the middle. And we'll see where the spot is. It's just short of the 1st down run. Quickly again, the Wildcats. Here we go. Simmons will go under center. On 2nd down, handoff. Tapatoatai out to the right. Tapatoatai trying to barrel through. Gets the 1st down, but is stopped short of the end zone.
That'll stop the clock. Allows Woods Cross the option to either run a play or clock it here.
Time running down with 30 seconds left into the end zone, but a flag comes out prior to. We might have a false start here.
Not sure if it'll be a false start. It may be a participation as there was a Viewmont player running off the field. Nope, this is going to be a false start. Boy, and if you're Woods Cross, that's an absolute killer of a penalty. Not only does it wipe a score off the board, but it really changes your plan and your approach here. Oh, wow.
Wow. The touchdown, or excuse me, the call goes against the Viewmont Vikings. It is a touchdown for the Wildcats.
It's a great run by Jesse Simmons. You see there was a Viewmont player coming off the field late. It's illegal participation. Doesn't matter. Simmons rumbles his way into the end zone for 6 and puts the Wildcats up 13-0.
Great recognition for Simmons to hurry up and get the snap off, take it into the end zone as the Viewmont Vikings were trying to get their defense sorted out.
Now we're going to have some discussion here because I think part of this may be the fact that we heard a whistle blow. So I think maybe there is some discussion about whether that was an inadvertent whistle or if the play had already concluded before it was blown dead. So I'm not sure. Not sure what the outcome of this one's going to be, but interesting discussion for sure.
Still 30 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. As it stands right now, it is 13-0 for the visitors. Still waiting for the final decision here from the officials. The field goal unit is onto the field for the Wildcats. And it looks like conversation's still being had. Heading over now to go talk to head coach Benson. Still conversations being had over on the far sideline. The field goal unit continues to stay on the field for the Wildcats. And now they'll call him back. No touchdown. Though we will wipe off the touchdown. We'll wait for the official call, but it seems to be that way.
You have that Woods Cross offense back out on the field. You see the officials going over, explaining the call, the Viking sideline. So I think some of that is maybe some communication up to the scoreboard to try and change the score again. We'll see.
6 seconds, 36.
Yeah, trying to get the clock reset as well.
Well, okay, so we still have confusion over here. The official was still trying to get their clock going. Woods Cross ran a play. They took it into the end zone for the touchdown. But we're still trying to figure out the clock situation. What is going on? Woods Cross is over there on the far sideline celebrating their touchdown again, but the officials weren't set.
And we had the white hat over here on the near sideline. They're trying to get the clock reset. Woods Cross not giving
They're eager.
any consideration to that whatsoever. They just want to run a play. You got to respect the Wildcats for the effort. Not sure that's exactly within the rules. Man, wild Wednesdays, baby. Nothing better.
What an ending we were having here as we wipe the touchdown off the board.
Now we have 3.6 seconds on the clock.
Still trying to figure out the scoreboard situation. Here we go. Simmons under center. And he'll run it right up the middle for the touchdown, Wildcats. It took a second, but Simmons punches it into the end zone.
Well, third time's the charm there for Woods Cross, and even the Wildcat coaching staff is just kind of like, yay. It's been a wild and winding road to get to that touchdown finally, but we got to the conclusion here. Now pending this PAT here for Woods Cross, and oh boy, what a wacky finish.
All red out for the PAT. All red. Kick is up. Kick is good. And just like that, with 35 seconds left, the Wildcats lead it 14-0 after the touchdown run from Jesse Simmons.
Boy, what a... Words rarely do words ever fail me, but at this point in time, I've never seen 3 touchdowns, 3 resets. I've never seen a team just run a play like that while the official's still trying to get the clock set. So.
Well, the best part about it, too, was the fact that the judge over there on the far side, he was set. He was ready to go. He had his hands in the air going touchdown while everybody else was still over here trying to figure out the scoreboard situation. Look, Wildcats, I love your enthusiasm. Keep it up.
I call it winning creatively. It's not really cheating. You're just trying to find ways to get the job done. Maybe others haven't thought about before. At the college level, the slow sub has become almost a norm now for every team, and something that I believe originated here in the great state of Utah, along with 3 touchdowns at the end of a first half and trying to run plays while the official's fixing the clock. So we're just trendsetters out here in the Beehive State.
Fitting for a rivalry game here in high school football.
Absolutely. This is part of what I absolutely love about high school football. Is just, you talk about love of the game, and it is so much about that at this level.
All red, squib kick. bobbled and brought in. And now quickly out, looks like that's Nuttall, who will finally be brought down. And that's where the Vikings will take over with 26 seconds left.
Yeah, nifty bit of running there as he's able to pick up some good yards after the bobble and provides Viewmont with a pretty good starting point now. They're going to be at the 33-yard line there. I don't know that it's 26 seconds.
All three timeouts?
All three timeouts. You know, we've seen Jack Savage throw the ball around. He can sling it, so that's plenty of time.
Savage will go empty backfield. Savage quickly out. It's caught. And that's Tolman with the catch, makes the move, and a timeout quickly taken by the Vikings.
And that's one of those plays where Woods Cross is content to let him run it, but it was also a punishing hit. You could hear the pads pop all the way up here. Who else but our guy number 50, Braden Haas, he in his cowboy collar. It's not just the collar, it's the attitude, the way he plays. He's one of the leading tacklers on this Woods Cross defense. Has a couple sacks. It's really a tone setter, but you know, for Viewmont, I think under any other circumstance, a almost 8-yard gain on first down would have been very welcome. Here you've got to pick up some chunk yards, and so I think that's a little bit of what Coach Jones is talking about with his guys and what they need to do.
Hoping to get it into field goal range. You got Josh Bartholomew, number 24, over here on the near sideline, warming up, getting ready. Trying to get it into his range to see if they can hit the 3 prior to the break. With 21 seconds left, Viewmont back out onto the field. 2 timeouts. Savage takes the snap, drops back, gets it out quick, and it falls incomplete.
It looks like a miscommunication there. He's trying to lead the receiver a little bit. Just not able to connect on that one, and a few seconds tick off the clock, but I think the bigger problem is that those are not big chunk plays like they need. And you know, again, this Wildcat defensive front is part of the reason why you can't throw some of those deeper routes. They just haven't allowed Savage any time back there to throw all game long.
Empty backfield here for the Wildcats. Savage takes the snap, gets it out quick, it's caught, pushed out of bounds. Enough for the first down as Benji Tolman coming up with another catch.
Yeah, Tolman with as many catches as he has carries tonight, I believe now, and it's a good job. He trundles back to the huddle. It's just like a shift worker, just punches the clock, makes the catch, hustles back, just doing his job out there. But it gets the Viewmont Vikings the first down now with 13 seconds and 2 timeouts left. Still an opportunity here. You probably have time to run maybe 1 or 2 more plays.
Here comes Savage on first down. Takes a snap, drops back, and he goes deep towards the sideline. It is incomplete. Oh, it looked like for a second there Dunrow had it, but the officials call it incomplete.
It's a great catch by Jason Dunrow. He's just out of bounds. Reels it in, and a nice ball there by Savage. They had the defender. Unfortunately, that pesky sideline got in the way, and now 6 seconds left on the clock. Viewmont's probably in desperation heave mode at this point. I say probably, they are.
Tolman lined up in the backfield with 6 seconds left. Here's Savage. Savage takes the snap, drops back. Everybody running toward the end zone. Flags come out everywhere. Tolman will go deep. It's caught. Trying to pitch it back. Makes one miss. And he'll fall at the 20 as we have flags to sort out, but it looks like that was Dunrow with the big catch.
Yeah, this is going to be a holding penalty, and we talk about love and positivity. I don't like the call, because really what it is it's the offensive lineman pancaking the defender, and that's what's being called the hold. Something that they emphasize at the high school level. It's not something that I can really change or that they're going to listen to me about, but you see the official gives the ball back. They're going to call this one over, I believe, on the penalty. Well, we'll see what's going on. I thought that was going to end the half, but
The Wildcats were already running towards the locker room. They were already in. And now they're coming back out onto the field. It's a holding against the Wildcats.
There we go.
Offsetting
Okay,
penalty. There we go.
yeah.
We'll try it again.
So now Woods Cross has called a timeout, but I don't know how there is time left on the clock. There's a 0 on the scoreboard. So if Woods Cross declines the penalty, that means the result of the play is what we get. So that would mean that Viewmont should have the ball. Boy, this is a moment where I just need to keep quiet.
No, I think it's just offsetting, and we'll try it again with an time down. It looks to be the case.
Yeah,
The Wildcats were already halfway to the locker room, but the officials made everybody come back.
I was under the impression that if a team declined the penalty, that meant the result of the play would stand. Maybe there's a different rule that I don't know about here in late clock situations, but you can see there's multiple Woods Cross defenders. Well, you can't see, but multiple Woods Cross defenders very deep, all standing on their own 20-yard line right now.
We'll try it again with zeros on the clock. Savage gets it out quick. It's incomplete as it hits the turf, and that will take us to the end of the half. It is a 14-0 Woods Cross lead as we head to the halftime break with the Region 6 title on the line, in the balance for the Wildcats here tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick step aside, but when we return, second half action here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSL Sports. As always, brought to you by Tab Bank. And I want to welcome you back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Tab Bank. Alex Napolis standing alongside me is Brian Brown as we get ready to start second half action between the Woods Cross Wildcats and the Viewmont Vikings here at the home of the Vikings. The Vikings down 14-0 as we get ready to start second half action. Remember, Brian, what's on the line tonight? For the Wildcats, all you have to do is win. With a win tonight, you guarantee yourself a share of the region title. However, with a 3-1 tie between Brighton, between the Wildcats, and between the Red Hawks, you still have to wait to find out what happens tomorrow in that Bountiful Olympus game, and you have to wait till Friday to find out what happens in the Brighton Alta game to find out if you share that title or if you can win it outright.
And you pile on top of that all the shenanigans we've had in conjunction with the rivalry game. Now the scoreboard is out officially, just to add to more confusion, as it has been a wild Wednesday here at Viewmont. Finally got some clarity on what happened on the last play there of the second half, as it was offsetting penalties and thus a replay of the down. So appreciate the clarification on that one. Now we've got scoreboards back on. I think we're ready to start the third quarter, but who knows?
We're ready to roll. If you missed the ending, we had a wild ending to that second quarter here at Viewmont High. The Weaver Wildcats took them 3 times to punch it in. The first time they called it back. The second time the officials weren't set. And the third time they finally punched it in. And then, as you mentioned, the ending there with the Wildcats already into the locker room. They had to hurry up and bring them back out before to play one last play. And now we get ready to start second half action. Ball booted away by the Wildcats. And a return coming up here for Viewmont. It's a run up the sideline, cuts it back inside, and finally brought down. It looked like that was Dunrow on the return. Or, excuse me, no, that is Austin Cannon on the return.
And not sure if our guy JT Wistersill is still listening while getting his reps in, but the Viewmont Viking student section just doing the Skull chant as we start the third quarter, and a nice job returning the ball on that one. Saw him turn the corner there, get some extra yards. Austin Cannon looked like on that one.
Hand off to Benji Tolman here on first down. Tolman going nowhere as he'll be brought down in the backfield and down for a loss.
But I don't know what Napa Tuakiapima who had for breakfast, but I need to eat that every morning. He's been an absolute animal out here tonight. I think that's the third or fourth play that he's disrupted by just barreling into the backfield. It almost seems like he's been untouched a few times, but he's going through Woods Cross offensive players every time.
Empty backfield for Savage. Drops back on second down. Gets back past the original line of scrimmage. And we'll take it for about 4 yards on the game.
And this has kind of been Viewmont's thing. They're content with taking those short yardage plays, knowing that third and long is going to be a challenge. But I think that's the beauty of having a quarterback like Jack Savage. He can do enough with his arm. I haven't seen him do a ton with his legs, but he does have that ability. He can do just enough to try and get you that first down. We'll see what they're able to do on this one.
Empty backfield on third down. Savage takes the snap, gets it out quick. It's caught, and Dunrow with the catch. A first down snag for the Viewmont Vikings. Oh, prior to, though, we do have some flags.
We'll wait for an official signal on this one. Roughing the passer there against the Woods Cross Wildcats. So you're going to tack on additional yardage after the gain here. And roughing is one of those penalties at the high school level where it's almost a full carte blanche for the official to make that call. That is a really penalizing play there, as they not only get the first down but get the penalty. It's a 25-yard gain. Basically ends up being an explosive play. And now for Viewmont, back into Woods Cross territory, I believe for the first time since the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Empty backfield coming up again for Savage. Dunrow with the catch, and then the penalty sets him up inside Woods Cross territory. Pressure coming. Savage can't escape, and he's going to be brought down for the sack. Hayden Thorne in there for sack number 2 on the night.
Hayden Thorne has been an animal tonight as well. I don't know if they did team breakfast or what they did, but these guys are playing no holds barred, aggressive, blitz-heavy football, and Thorne able to wrangle Savage down on that one. But there were multiple Wildcat defenders in the backfield on that play. I know Sack Lake City is a little bit further south, but Woods Cross doing their best impression tonight.
Second down coming up here with 9:20 left to go in the third quarter. Savage will take the snap, drops back, trying to play over the middle to Benji Tolman, but it hits the turf and falls incomplete.
That's a pretty nice ball by Savage. He's trying to lead Tolman out there a little bit. Just a better play by, I think that was Shaden Garrett on that. Maybe Ryan Miller, excuse me. Able to get his hands around the waist of Tolman there and gets just enough drag that he's not able to reel that catch in.
Third down and long coming up for the Viewmont Vikings.
Yeah, third and very long here. They are a solid 26 yards away from that first down marker.
Ball on the 48-yard line. Snap taken by Savage, drops back, gets it out, it's caught. Dunrow makes one miss, and now Dunrow gets the first down and finally wrestled down. How about Jason Dunrow?
An amazing grab there by the senior wide receiver. He's playing with that massive elbow brace and comes off the field, and well-deserved break as he breaks open that play against that stingy Wildcat defense and picks up a monster 26-yard first down.
Dunrow has had a couple of big catches in this one so far, adds another there to his collection, and it brings up first down for the Vikings back inside Wildcat territory. Savage on first down, takes the snap, drops back, pressure coming, escapes out to the right, Still looking downfield, gets it away, and it falls incomplete, and flag comes flying out.
This is going to be a illegal man downfield. It was a screen play. Savage saw that it was well defended. There was just no way of getting around it, and Viewmont's tried to go to that well to try and counter the rush from Woods Cross, but that rush has just been too good. You see the impact that it has on that one. Maybe an adjustment that Coach Jones and his staff look to make at some point in this game, but this is the tough part about your game plan. You have what you have, and the other team disrupts that. It's not like you can magically conjure up new plays out of nowhere.
We've called out a couple of the Wildcats on the defensive side of the ball, like Hayden Thorne has a double sack. Steppen, who has the INT, but there's been a lot of stand-up performances, like you said, Brian, on that defensive side, and that D-line right now is playing very well.
Yeah, interesting that the Wildcats declined that penalty too, Alex.
Savage, handoff to Tolman, and Tolman going nowhere. Brought down back at the original line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up third down here for the Vikings.
A lot of confidence from Coach Brody Benson and his defense on that one, declining the penalty, just trying to force them into downs. It is kind of that no man's territory in terms of if you can hold them on fourth down. I don't know that you have. We'll see what the kicker has and able to be, if he's able to connect on a field goal. But right now, the task at hand for Viewmont is picking up a first down.
Clock winding down, 7:49 left to go here in the third quarter. Dunrow goes in motion. Savage drops back, gets it out, caught, bobbled, and incomplete into the hands of Draylon Jensen. But it hits the turf, and it brings up fourth down.
At rule number one, secure the catch, then make the move. I see Draylon Jensen walks off. He knows exactly what happened. That's one of those plays where you just tap him on the head, let him know that you love him. Play for the next play. It's a tough result, but now fourth down here for Viewmont. We talked about what that decision looked like. They're going to go for it here, Alex.
Fourth down play coming up for the home side. The Viewmont Vikings trying to extend this drive with the first down. They need 10. Drops back. Gets it out towards the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. Falls to the turf, incomplete, and it's a turnover on downs. The ball will go back to the Wildcats.
Well, it was a nice action out of the backfield. You see the wheel route, and the defender just sitting on it at the right moment. Tries to step in front of it, and it bounces off his chest. And I know that he's disappointed in not getting the interception, but realistically that plays in the favor of the Woods Cross Wildcats because they will take over at the 22-yard line, excuse me. Whereas if the interception had been able to be completed, it would have been inside the 10.
Here comes the Wildcats back on offense. Simmons under center, sends a receiver in motion. Toss out to Garrett. Garrett up the left side. Garrett makes two miss, and finally Garrett brought down after a 2-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, great job by that Viewmont defense in pursuit. They were able to limit any major gain. Sometimes those toss sweeps can catch teams off guard. You got trips to the far side of the field. It gives you really great blocking angles on that, and man, great pursuit. Only a couple yard gain on that.
Here comes second down for the Wildcats. Simmons under center. Handoff. Tapatoatai with a big run. Let's see where that spot is. Should be enough for the first down.
And I think you're right, Alex. This is going to be, if it's not a first down, it'll be very close. And you see the clock winds, chains move, and we're off and running. And I don't know what Vili Tapatoatai's nickname is, but you could call him the chain mover. I think we can do better than that, but
we'll come up with something. Here comes first down. A pitch out, and it hits the turf. Garrett has to fall on it to avoid danger, and it will remain with the Wildcats.
Yeah, Simmons trying to almost manipulate the defender into making a decision there. They do a good job of slow playing it. He tries to pitch it, and his back's just not in a great position to reel it in. Luckily, the ball bounces back to him. He's able to recover, but that was a dangerous play. Would have been a monster turnover with scoop and score potential. Viewmont may have been able to advance it. And We talked about it ad nauseum on the broadcast tonight. That is part of option football.
And off to Tapatoatai, stiff arm, past the 40 and wrangled down. Tapatoatai stopped short of the first down gain, but it brings up 3rd down and 1 here for the Wildcats.
Really what it does is it just gives you a chance here, and I think we've got a player down on the sideline.
After the play, there is a Viking down on the sideline. As the training staff heads over to take a look at him, we do have a stoppage in play, and so we'll take it with them here on the Rewind Sports Network. 14-0 with 5:36 left to go. More on the other side. Good to see Raiden David back up on his feet as the training staff here on the near sideline continue to take a look at the Viewmont defender. 3rd and 1 coming up here for the visiting side with 5:27 left to go. Simmons will go under center. Hand off to Tapatoatai. Makes one miss, makes a second miss, dives forward, and gets plenty for the first down. Another big run from Viliami Tapatoatai here in the 3rd quarter. First down, Wildcats.
And you see those chains move again, and that's just, you start getting a little desperate if you're Viewmont. It feels overwhelming.
Another handoff. No, keeper there from Simmons. Simmons finds some space. Up the right sideline. Jesse Simmons to the 20. Has blockers. Cuts inside. And Jesse Simmons will take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. His 2nd touchdown run of the night.
There's just no good options when it comes to this Wildcat rushing attack, and you see Jesse Simmons exhibiting the kind of athleticism that makes him one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the state. What an explosive run. You see the cutback at the end. He's able to wriggle his way into the end zone and finish that one. Had one earlier where he couldn't quite get in, Alex. You could tell he wanted to finish that one strong, and what an incredible play from the senior signal caller.
Behind the play, Gabe Draper, defender for the Viewmont Vikings, down. Training staff onto the field. They'll walk him over to the sideline now as we get ready for the PAT. Jesse Simmons with his 2nd touchdown of the night. A big run for the Wildcats. Here we got some trickeration as it looks like they will go for potentially dose. Simmons out there, takes the snap. They do. Handoff. Cuts, gets the corner, takes it in for the 2-point conversion. Tapatoatai with the 2 points.
He is just so good, and you see, we used to call it water bucket when I was in high school, but you see that unique special teams formation where the bulk of the line is to the far side of the field. You just bring Tapatoatai in motion. And some nice little pitch action from Jesse Simmons, and Viliami scampers into the end zone for 2.
22-0. Wildcats now lead it over the Viewmont Vikings. A 22-point lead again as the Wildcats trying to guarantee themselves a minimum share of that region trophy. Still have to wait for results in Region 6. But tonight, the Wildcats taking care of business so far. 22-0. Jesse Simmons with his 2nd touchdown run of the night. Tapatoatai added the first one, and that's where we're at with 4:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball booted away by Allred. And this one will be returned from the Vikings as Cannon again. He's a dangerous return man. It's the 2nd time we've seen number 9, Austin Cannon, and doing a good job there with another return.
Yeah, he's just a junior. He's listed as the quarterback on the roster, but you can see he is a really explosive runner. Not powerful, but speedy, great vision. You can see if he hadn't, his blocker would have held on for another second, probably could have cut off of that block and gotten additional yards. He's done a magnificent job all night long of getting Viewmont good field position. I think it's allowed Jack Savage to have a little more leeway in some of his passes, and they have had a hard time protecting him at times.
Savage here on first down. Hand off to Tolman. Tolman again going nowhere as he's brought down at the line of scrimmage, and that's been a consistent factor. Tolman has just not been able to get going tonight.
It can't escape the big body of Brody Rogers on that one. His number 52 drags him down, but that's really been the story of this entire battle between the Viewmont offense and the Wildcat defense. Is that defensive line has been relentless in pursuing in the backfield, and when you're getting that kind of knockback, it's just hard to get any movement in the running game.
Savage here will drop back, gets it out to Lewis, and it falls incomplete, intended there for Joshua Lewis. And Lewis a couple times been targeted tonight, still waiting for that first catch.
Yeah, and he's a big target, 6'2", 150. Still growing into that body a little bit, but just not able to secure the catch. I think they have real high hopes for what his potential can be, and this is part of his development process.
Just a junior there for Lewis. Savage will take the snap, drops back, gets it out quick over the middle, caught by Tolman. Tolman now trying to get involved in the passing game, and Tolman with a big first down run.
It is a great pickup there, and you see catches the ball out of the backfield, and then he makes some real shifty moves. He's a fun running back to watch. He just hasn't had a lot of lanes up front. And see, when you get him in space, Benji Tolman can be a really explosive player. What are we going to get now? Penalty.
I don't know if something was said. I didn't see anything happen on the field.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Woods Cross.
That's an unsportsmanlike conduct against Woods Cross, and you see the official having a conversation with the players in white. We're not down there, so we don't hear things, but clearly an opportunity for a teaching moment there, but it comes at a high cost if you're that Wildcat defense.
Viewmont with a first down here after the penalty flag. This is Savage who drops back. Savage going deep, and it is incomplete, intended for Dunrow, but we do have a late flag that comes out.
Yeah, that there was just way too much contact there, and I get that legs get tied up, but that's a kind of a toss-up ball, and if we had protocols that said otherwise, right? If there, wow. All right, I take it back. That is a monstrously punishing penalty there.
As far as flags went and go, pretty clean first quarter. Second quarter, it picked up a little bit. Now here in the third, there's been a lot of movement with these penalty flags. Viewmont got an unsportsmanlike, moved up, and now with this penalty, they move back even further. Savage in a hole. Hands it off to Tolman. And again, Tolman going nowhere. Pushes himself back to the line of scrimmage, but ultimately just a wall of Wildcats there to bring him down.
The effort from Benji Tolman has been so impressive tonight. And then you see him just continue to fight and drive and just scratch for every yard he can. And the fans on the other side cheering, but man, that's an impressive effort from Benji Tolman. I'm not trying to knock the offensive line here for Viewmont. He just hasn't had space, but he has never stopped fighting.
Savage here on second down. Gets it out. It is incomplete. Again intended for Joshua Lewis as he hits the turf, falls incomplete. And with 2:36 left to go, a 3rd down and 24 coming up for the home side.
It's just a timing route, and Savage not able to hit Lewis as he's coming out of his break, and signals as much, kind of taps his chest like the good old my bad. So they'll try and pick something up. Now, they have picked up a 3rd and 26 earlier tonight. So I don't know if I would bet on that happening again, but
here comes Savage, gets it out, and it's intended for Dunrow, and it hits Dunrow, falls incomplete, and it will bring up 4th down.
And you see it bounces off of Dunrow's chest, and he's got that monster elbow brace. It's really impressive he's even out there in the first place. I don't know how he made the grab earlier. He's not able to reel that one in. You can see the frustration as he trots off the field, and I think that frustration is starting to set in a little bit for this Viewmont offense.
You mentioned it earlier. They had a 26-yard pass to Dunrow earlier that got them a big 1st down. This one, the punt, can't be handled by the punter, and he'll be wrestled down at the 2-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will take over. Mishandle on the punt. And the Wildcats set up with phenomenal field position.
Just so much momentum there for Viewmont, and then it all just falls apart in 2 plays in essence, and you just hate to see that kind of stuff happen. For Woods Cross, you're going to take advantage of it as best you can. They're up 22-0 here. You want to get a quick score.
So they blew it dead at the 9, and that's where we'll start here for the Wildcats. Simmons, handoff to Tapatoatai, and he'll be stopped short of the end zone.
I actually believe that was Liam Benson on the carry as they've switched up some of the running backs there. Benson, the senior.
Benson again lined up in the backfield. Simmons will go under center. Handoff again to Benson. Out to the left, finds the hole, and rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Woods Cross.
Liam Benson takes the handoff and drives his way into the end zone for his 1st touchdown of the season. Fortuitous play leads to a big score for the Woods Cross Wildcats.
Here comes Mason Allred out for the PAT, trying to extend this Wildcats lead. Allred, the kick is up, the kick is good. And just like that, with 1:52 left to go, Wildcats lead it 29-0 here at Viewmont. We'll take a quick step aside on the Rewind Sports Network. 29-0, Liam Benson's touchdown run to extend this Wildcat lead. 29-0 here at Viewmont High. Alex Napolis with you. Alongside me is Brian Brown. As we have 1:52 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. A punt that was mishandled by the Viewmont Vikings, and now the Vikings with a big return again. Another dangerous return we see there from Cannon. That's where Viewmont will set up this drive.
And he's really put on a show tonight, and we'll see how things go for Viewmont in terms of RPI and making the playoffs. You have to wonder if maybe they don't try to get him involved a little bit more on offense. The way he's returned the ball tonight has been awesome.
And now here on 1st down, it's the Viewmont Vikings. Savage will take the snap, drops back. Looking to go deep, and it is incomplete. Ball intended there for Clegg as it hits the turf.
That was a great job there. I think that was Hayden Thorne in coverage. We've talked about him a lot tonight in pressuring the quarterback. That time it was on the pass defense where he was excelling, and This Woods Cross defense is not taking anything for granted right now. They're playing every bit as hard as they were the first snap.
Second down, ball out quick, it's caught, and now makes a move to the first down. And that Viewmont able to move the sticks. It looks like that was Cole Ingram with the catch.
And number 8 there for Viewmont on the reception. The senior getting some action here tonight. Viewmont kind of recomposed themselves, and you see Jack Savage is a competitor. He wants to get points on that board, and if you could even get a score maybe before the end of the third quarter, that changes the scope of this game.
Savage drops back over the middle, caught, makes one miss, and now here comes Ingram again after back-to-back catches for Cole Ingram. Brought down another first down for the Viewmont Vikings.
You can see fatigue starting to set in a little bit for the Woods Cross Wildcats. Again, that defense has been out there a lot tonight, and that's part of why you normally play triple option, is because you want to protect your defense, you want to possess the football, but they've been so aggressive in pursuing the quarterback. You see the fatigue starting to set in a little bit. We'll see what Viewmont can do here.
34 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Time running down. It is a first down for the Vikings as Savage takes a snap. Looking to float one towards the end zone, and it falls incomplete. Intended. Oh, see if we can get a number on that. But it falls incomplete. It might have been Ingram again.
Yeah, I believe it was number 5, Mason Allred, on the coverage there. Nice job. Ball just a little bit outside the reach of the receiver on that one.
Ball intended again for Cole Ingram. Going to him 3 times in a row. See if that trend continues on second down. Here comes Savage. Takes a snap. Drops back. Towards the end zone, and it falls incomplete. Ball intended for Dunrow as Dunrow hits the turf.
And he had Parker Rose, open to the outside, but the ball was already away. And that's one of those plays that when they watch film again, Jack Savage is going to wish he could have that one back. Rose had beat his defender, done a nice job, but third down here, there's still plenty on the table for the Vikings.
18 seconds left here in the third. Savage will take the snap. Over the middle, it's caught and wrestled down. Gets maybe 2 on the gain, and it will bring up fourth down.
And Joshua Lewis finally reels one in, and we'll see if maybe that starts a little fire under him. Build some confidence, but that'll end the third quarter here, and we're going to flip fields, take a break, and start her all over again in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter action coming up on the other side. The Vikings are down 29-0 over the Woods Cross Wildcats. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter action when we return here on the Rewind Sports Network. Want to welcome you back into the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Fourth down for Savage, gets it out quick, it falls incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs, and we'll have our chance to see this Woods Cross Wildcats offense back out onto the field. Alex Napolis alongside me is Brian Brown to start fourth quarter action.
The ball falls incomplete, and so ends the charge from the Viewmont Vikings. Bounce back nicely from a mishandled snap on the punt earlier, which allowed Woods Cross to score the touchdown to go ahead 29-0, and just not able to finish the drive again. And that's really been the story for this Vikings offense tonight. They've done some really productive things, but just haven't been able to get past that 25-yard line area.
Simmons takes the snap. Flags come out. Ryan Miller making a couple of guys miss. Ryan Miller still on his feet. And finally, Ryan Miller wrestled down. Good run for Miller on first down.
Yeah, Miller doesn't carry the ball often, but he's done a good job this season when he has. 24 carries, 296 yards, averages a little over 12 yards a carry. That number may have adjusted for people watching. Who are like, no, he's got this. I just go off of what Des News has.
The flag does come out, though. It will bring back the run from Miller. And it will bring up a 1st and 15 here for the Wildcats. Simmons pitches it out. And a good run up the sideline, trying to get to that first down marker, pushed out of bounds. Big run for the Wildcats here on first down.
I don't know if that was Shaden Garrett or not, but I tell you what, Jesse Simmons has taken 2 real punishing hits on back-to-back plays, and he's a big, tough kid, but up 29-0 right now. I think you have to wonder how much longer he's going to stay out there, especially as that clock continues to tick down.
Simmons will go under center. A handoff, a pitch out again to Miller. Miller this time tripped up by the shoelace. Ryan Miller had green grass and instead brought down just by the tip of his toes.
Greenish turf, maybe.
Yeah, greenish.
Yeah. I see some of that rubber, the black rubber ball starting to show up there in the middle of the field there for Viewmont. And I think so we talk a little bit too much about the turf. I think the real story has been that's how Viewmont's hung in this game is just toast saving tackles.
A run up the middle going nowhere, stopped after maybe a yard on the gain. Looks like that was Viliami once more with the run.
You can see a little bit of jawing going on there, and it's been a battle between a fullback and that defensive front for Viewmont all game long. And right now, Woods Cross has been getting the better of it, but
10 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Handoff again to Tapatoatai, who finds some space past the 40, past the 20, and finally wrestled down Viliami Tapatoatai. Phenomenal run.
there is just no stopping him. He's like a bus out there the way he just rumbles down the field. I'm going to date myself with a movie reference to the movie Speed, but he never goes under 50 miles per hour when he's in the open field, and picks up a monster first down and a huge gain for Woods Cross.
Tapatoatai with a big run. Simmons will keep on first. Simmons finds some space, cuts it up the middle, and see if that's enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot him. And a 9-yard run from Simmons will bring up second down.
Bit of an unusual induction here, but we have a new member of the Pancake Platoon, number 7, Ryan Miller. Getting a pancake at the end there. Welcome aboard, Private. Not often we get a running back in that one, but
absolutely.
That was a great block.
Here comes second down, another keeper for Simmons. Simmons powering through, that's Tapatoatai, who punches it into the end zone. Touchdown, Woods Cross.
He and his Wildcats just never go under 50 miles an hour. Viliami Tapatoatai rumbles into the end zone and puts the exclamation point on what has been an incredible rushing attack tonight for this Woods Cross football team.
Here comes All Red with the PAT. The kick is up. The kick is good. And with 8:50 left to go here in the fourth quarter, the Woods Cross Wildcats lead it 36-0. We'll take a quick step aside here on the Rewind Sports Network.
With a tab spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Kickoff booted away by the Wildcats. Here comes a big return. And tripped up. Looked like he had some space out to his right and instead tripped up, brought down, and that's where Viewmont will return to the field.
Yeah, if it's not Austin Cannon, it's Cole Ingram back there to return kicks. And I tell you what, man, that alone is my favorite part right now, is how can either one of them actually break a play open. I don't know if Viewmont's signaling for the Mets closer to come in here, but got some Timmy Trumpet playing in the background. See if the Vikings can get on the board with this one.
Savage takes a snap, handoff to Tolman. And again, Tolman pushed back, going nowhere. He'll get forward progress back at the original line of scrimmage.
The run game just hasn't been productive much for Viewmont tonight, and it's not really their forte. They want to throw the ball. They want to get those, talented wide receivers involved, and you just every now and then hope to catch the defense snoozing a little bit, and it has not happened much at all tonight with Woods Cross.
7:30 left to go here in the fourth. Second down. Savage takes a snap, gets it out. Dunrow with a catch and forced out of bounds. Dunrow comes up with another catch.
And Ryan Miller is just the perfect example of a great high school player. Goes both ways, runs the ball, sure tackler, plays assignment sound football. I don't know what his potential is at the next level. I mean, you just watch this game. He's only a junior, so maybe there's some time to develop a little bit more, but he is just everywhere tonight.
Third down coming up here. Savage takes a snap, drops back, pressure coming, steps up in the pocket, zips one in across the field, again looking for Dunrow, and it falls incomplete. Dunrow a bit shooken up after the play, and he'll bring up fourth down.
He's taking a real beating, and Jack Savage avoided a lot of contact on that one. Multiple players in pursuit. Now Vikings go 3 and out, and you can kind of see that this game is starting to wear. Woods Cross, the physicality of the Wildcats has really worn down this offense.
Paul punted away here by the Vikings. And dropped by Tion. And let's see where the call is. It was recovered by the Wildcats. Danger averted there.
Tion Halbach seeing an opportunity to make a big play. Tries to field that one on the fly. And you've got a 36-point lead. At this point in time, probably not the smartest play, but you can understand why he's trying to do it, right? You want to make a play. That's one of those things where if you're a coach on the sideline, you're pulling over and say, hey, glad you got that one out of your system. Don't want to see it again.
This one will start inside Viking territory. Just past the 50, ball on the 44-yard line here for the Woods Cross Wildcats. Pitch out to Miller. Miller cuts up. Miller makes a couple of guys miss. Ryan Miller with a big first down run. Still on his feet. There goes Ryan Miller.
I just can't help but chuckle to myself. That run was poetry in motion and the ballet of physicality. And you see Ryan Miller churning those legs and picking up additional yards, breaking tacklers. There is no quitting that young man. Pointed out earlier, he's gone both ways tonight. He seems like he's the Energizer Bunny. He fell on the battery properly tonight, Alex. He's got plenty of energy.
5:36 left to go. Handoff up the middle. And it looks like Liam Benson there with the run. Almost gets enough for the first down. And it'll bring up second for the Wildcats.
A lot of credit to this Viewmont Viking defense. They have not given up. They have not stopped tackling or trying to limit that option attack, and it can be absolutely brutal. You know, I know Coach Herman Boone called it Novocaine, but it's almost like, you know, death by 1,000 cuts.
Simmons, handoff to Benson. Benson out to the right. And up for the first down, but brought down inside the 10.
And it's not regular cuts. It's physical, painful paper cuts with lemon juice being squirted in there. It's just, you know, the triple option is a beautiful offense to watch when it's run the way that Woods Cross has run it tonight. And they're threatening to score again.
The Viewmont student body had chalk and a cannon ready to roll.
Almost looked like a gender reveal there. As one of them with blue smoke, and if you see that drifting in front of the camera, we apologize. Beyond our control. The student body still having a good time as this one starts to wind down, and that clock is ticking away. Tick, tick, tick. 4:10 left here as Woods Cross looking to get one more score.
Good to see the Viking student section still in good spirits. The chalk is out, the confetti is out, and now here with 4 minutes left to go, Woods Cross on the goal line trying to extend this lead. Handoff up the middle, pushes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Woods Cross.
And late flags after that one. I hate to see what this is, but again, that option attack from Woods Cross has just been absolutely dominant tonight. They score their 6th touchdown of the night.
Waiting now here for the call. It will be sportsmanlike that will go against the Viewmont Vikings.
And I see Coach Jones out there trying to have a conversation with the official about that. Glad to see Coach got bundled up tonight. It is that familiar fall chill in the air tonight for sure.
I got Arthur Gale putting the PHC up. It's in, it's good. Arthur Gale extends this Woods Cross Wildcats lead. We'll take a quick step aside here on the Rewind Sports Network.
With a tab spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
The touchdown for the Wildcats with 3:20 left to go, 43-0. As again, Woods Cross with this win, they guarantee at minimum a share of that region title. Another big return, trying to make it a big return, so close. It's just one tackle away from breaking it away.
I don't know why I'm so invested in this all of a sudden. Just feels like every single time they get the ball, one of those returners gets so close to breaking one. Let's see, that time I believe it was Cole Ingram coming close to it, and as we talk about the Woods Cross program, what they've been able to accomplish this year, as you mentioned, they'll have to wait for results on Thursday and Friday night, but for the historical plight of this program, Coach Benson and his staff has done a great job.
Clegg up the left sideline. Clegg finally breaks one away, and Clegg pulls one back for the Vikings. Touchdown, Viewmont. Boy, did they need that one. The fans on their feet. Clegg, touchdown.
We've been waiting all night for one of those breakthrough plays. And here comes Brady Clegg to the rescue as he takes that one nearly untouched to the house. And there's still enough energy for a party here at Viewmont after that score.
2:25 left to go here in the fourth. Clegg pulls one back. And Savage and this offense out there going for two. Savage jumps back. Looking at the end zone. It is caught. Clegg again converts on the 2-point. 43-8. Woods Cross leads it. We'll take a step aside. Clegg taking it to the house for the touchdown, pulls one back for the Vikings, and with 2:07 left to go, it's a 43-8 Woods Cross lead. Bartholomew out now to kick this one away for Viewmont. Bounces at the 30. It will be returned. Nicely met and brought down. Garrett trying to return it for Woods Cross. Nicely defended and covered there by the Vikings.
And it hasn't been the kind of result that Viewmont expected, but I think there's a lot of positive takeaways for this group. Special teams, outside of a few miscues on the punt side, been pretty outstanding. That defense has stayed in the fight, but I think as we talk about this when the clock winds under 2 minutes, it's that Woods Cross Wildcat offense that has been incredible tonight.
Tapatoatai, explosive, fast. He finds the holes, and he does not stop running. Tapatoatai has been incredible tonight.
He really has, and there's just so many good running backs in this state, and it's you talk about Devon Eka, Siaki Fekitoa, and I really do think that Viliami Tapatawatai belongs in that conversation.
There's a lot of really great running backs here in 6A, or excuse me, in Region 6.
Yeah.
And Tapatoatai is definitely one of them. Under a minute now. Simmons, hand it off. Enough for a 2-yard gain there.
Number 36, Benny Brown.
As Brown running the ball now here for the Wildcats. And the time continues to tick, tick, tick away. 26 on the play clock, 30 on the game clock. We'll still need to run one more here before this one can be final. Here comes Simmons in this offense. With 5. Another handoff up the middle. Brought down. And that will take us to the end of this game. And the Woods Cross Wildcats will have region champions attached to their name. A minimum of a share of the Region 6 title belongs to the Wildcats. They will have to wait their destiny when the Bountiful Redhawks take on the Olympus Titans tomorrow, and then the Brighton Bengals take on the Alta Hawks on Friday. At the minimum tonight, they are region champions. We'll see if that's outright, or we'll see if that is shared with the other two teams.
And as you see these two teams shake hands, it was a rivalry game with a lot on the line, and you saw Woods Cross go out and do exactly what they expected to do, executed the game plan to perfection all game long. They will walk out of here heads held high as they wait for the results over the next 2 days.
Again, Woods Cross, the final score here, 43-8, with the Wildcats taking the win. Helmet stickers presented by Tab Bank. Brian Brown, give us your helmet sticker winner of the night.
Well, a lot of options out there. You know, we talked a lot about Ryan Miller's effort tonight, and certainly worthy of it, but I got to give it to Jesse Simmons for what I think was the game-breaking touchdown there, coming out of halftime, avoided multiple defenders and sprinted his way for the end zone. And that's what really closed the coffin on the Viewmont Vikings. Congratulations, Jesse Simmons.
Jesse Simmons gets it from Brian Brown. I think I'll give mine to Viliami Tapatawatai. The way he ran tonight was absolutely phenomenal and helped propel this team to a big, big win. That is your helmet stickers, brought to you by Tab Bank, always here on the Rewind Sports Network. Week 10, the final week of the regular season. I want to take this time to remind you that Saturday, 10 a.m. on KSLSports.com, we will have the football bracket reveal. David James, Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen coming at you 10 a.m. on KSLSports.com. They will reveal team by team, bracket by bracket, every matchup that's happening next week for the playoffs as we move into the postseason here in high school football. That's going to do it for us here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. As always, presented by Tab Bank. I'm Alex Napolis. That's Brian Brown. A big shout out to Austin on the camera. And from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. Everyone have a good night. We'll see you on Saturday for the bracket reveal here on KSLSports.com.